Hi, this is Sue, and this is a version of Get Sold. I'm in my little pond garden today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a recent victory I had, which you'd think I'd be really excited to go like telling the world, but I was just kind of in disbelief over it, I guess. So, for I don't know, 20 plus years, I've struggled with hypothyroidism. And if anybody knows what that means, it's a hormone imbalance, and it can cause you to not metabolize correctly. And that means energy, that means food. I wound up gaining a lot of weight in my 40s, and I felt like I lost control of everything. I gave up. And once I gave up at that point, I just ate and ate and ate and just gave up. I did have a belief, and of course a belief is something that you start with until you know something else, but in this case, I've always believed that we could heal ourselves. Just because I knew when I was little I still had a connection somewhere with creator source, whoever that is. And I didn't know how, and I didn't know how long, because I had so many things wrong with my body. So many things. But recently, I think I would say the table started changing in my 50s. So for anybody who's looking for hope after 30, trust me, it gets better. And that comes from somebody here who at like 20 said, I don't want to live past 50, but for other reasons. So once I didn't have the menstrual cycle anymore, which was a big plus, for moods and things like that, I could work on myself. I could figure out, how do I correct this imbalance? I had so many different things going on with my head, my emotions. I mean, there's a list. But I needed to tackle the thyroid thing because I felt so miserable. I have nothing against being heavy if that's where you feel at home, but I started off in my life averaging around 127. I did modeling. So for me, that was a good weight, and it wasn't even childbearing. No, I modeled after I had kids, so it wasn't even that. It was the sum total of my adrenal system being shot. I grew up through abuse, and I was aware of it, so I didn't like bury it and not know about it. I knew. I just didn't know how to deal with it. But the fear that was running in my system, it just was relentless. And when you have the fight or flight going on in your parasympathetic, I say it all wrong all the time, the part of your body that is the fight or flight, okay, that system, when that's in overdrive, stuff gets out of balance. Like, picture your vehicle. If you hit enough curbs, your tires are going to wear out funny. Well, that's what happened. My adrenals were shot. That caused my thyroid to get out of balance. I had progesterone loss. I wasn't making enough of that, so I was a mess. So just recently, we had this whole COVID thing, and I really didn't go to the doctor all that much to begin with because I knew what my issues were. And backtracking a little bit, when my dad was ill and I had to take care of him, he didn't get ill until he went to a hospital and things went very wrong. I got him on all organics and herbs, and that was holding him steady so that he could do his spiritual work. I learned from him to start using herbs and to start looking for organic and natural stuff. I was still on what I'm going to call it levo because it's a long word, levothyroxine, whatever. And I was on that for, I don't know, 20 years or something. And I vowed one day, I have to fix this problem. I have to. It's just everything I'm going to check off the list. Everything that's out of balance and not working properly, I'm going to zero in and do it. But I finally got validation a couple of weeks ago when I got my blood work back from the doctor. And again, I hadn't been in like 3 years or something. And I needed to know, do I need this stuff or not? Because I was off it since last November. And I was like, I don't know if I should be flying solo. Do I still, And I got good news. I called because they didn't say anything to me. They didn't call me and say, oh, we got your blood work back, whatever, whatever. I was like, come on, guys, do I need to still be on this or not? And I called the office, and she said, no, your results were normal. And I kind of did like I wanted to say, what, is she got my blood work? Is that my blood work? And I got it faxed to me, and I looked at it, because I do my own research. I'm like, okay, well, the average might be for a bunch of people, but I need to know what's right for my body, and that's something we weren't really taught in this society, is that our systems may vary from one another's. They just kind of stamp it and say, okay, you're in this range, you're good. I wasn't with progesterone. I wasn't. So anyways, so yeah, the fax came in, I looked at it. I couldn't believe it. It said normal, normal, normal. What? Now I want to tell you something about, sitting on rocks here. I want to tell you something about something called Metaphysical. I don't have all the answers to everything. It's been like putting a puzzle together between being a human, being a soul with, spiritual tendencies, to try to put all this stuff together. But I always leaned towards natural when I could, at least later on in life. When I was angry, of course, natural didn't matter at that point. It was emotional at that point. Anyways, what I want to tell you about metaphysical stuff is I learned from Louise Hay years ago that everything that goes wrong, every dis-ease they call it, not disease, dis-ease, imbalance that goes wrong in your body or goes astray, I won't say wrong, but whatever, there's a cause for it. There's an emotional thought process behind it. So I looked up years ago, what does hypothyroidism mean? What does that mean? And boy, I was kind of like taken aback, because in her studies with the thousands of people she worked with, in every case it was hypothyroidism, the slow one, not the fast one, was about, when is it my turn? When do I get to speak? And that blew me away. I mean, it would be a long time until I actually got to this point today where I can absolutely say, I did it. I healed that one aspect of my life. I did it. I started speaking up. Yeah, this is really hard for me. Videos and stuff. Oh my God, it's terrible. Like, I just want to keep hiding. But I know I have something valuable that might help somebody else. And it'd be kind of selfish of me not to. Oh dear. Not to start talking about it, especially now when I actually don't have to take medication anymore. Like, I got off of, 90% of all the different stuff I was on, like for brain, for ADHD, for bipolar, for, mood disorders, this, that, and the other thing, before I was going natural, because I was so lost. I didn't care. Just give me a pill for it. I don't care. Give me a pill for it, whatever. And it always, in every single case, made it worse. Every single case. I never thought I'd get to this point right now. I will be perfectly honest. I never thought I would get here now. Yeah. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I know they all say that. This is like super true for me, because I would have these like literal, like, how do I even say, like with ADHD, the kind that I have, and it's actually toxicity that I've learned since on the brain. I'm looking because there's a wasp over there and I'm deadly allergic to brown wasps, so he better stay right there. No fear, no fear. Anyways, so I just wanted to say there's a lot more I could say, but you know, I have a small attention span too. But I wanted to say congrats to me about not having to be on medication anymore for hypothyroidism. I still don't even think I believe it. I mean, I do, but I still think it's like when the thing that you believe actually pans out and shows to be reality. Wow, that's powerful. How can I not think I can't fix everything else in my life? Wow. Well, okay. That's all I want to say for now, and I just want to thank you for listening. And I just want to say to you, whatever you're struggling with, whatever you feel isn't going right in your life or the way you want it, the first step is awareness. It's awareness. Like, I did so much research on why do I feel this way? Physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. I went down all those avenues to figure out what I could change. And sometimes it takes years to change. Sometimes it has to be when you're ready. And like for me, I felt like I had so many things all at one time. It's like, oh my God, what do I start with first? But I was very uncomfortable about the weight thing because I didn't feel good. I couldn't move. So, okay, that's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in. Love you, and stay hopeful, stay positive, and get sold on yourself. Thank you.